RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
All right. Nice to see everybody. Welcome to our Friday night get-together. We meet here every Friday evening at the Tarabuster YouTube channel, youtube.com/C for channel/Tarabuster, and come on over and hang out in the greatest chat room in American history. And I mean it. Okay, let's see. How's it looking? How's it sounding? Thank you, Jim, for coming back after, our last show. There was a little bit of drama in the chat room. So thank you, Jim, for taking up the task again. It's not easy. Yeah, I know how it is. It's really not easy. And I got to tell you, I get messages all the time. People, I don't know, I guess I annoy them. I got to say this, say that. You said this wrong. I don't know, whatever. It is what it is. But thank you. Thank you, Jim. I pronounce something wrong. I need to do this more or that more. Everyone, I guess I should not be. It's not upsetting. I get it. It comes with the territory, and I should really, and not get annoyed. Sometimes I do get annoyed. It depends on how I feel. Whatever's on my mind. You never know. I might get a whole lot of other email at the same time and just have had enough. But I should look at it as if, in a better light, meaning that at least people care enough to write. You know what I mean? If no one wrote, then that would be a bigger problem. So, yes, it's okay. Yeah, Jim, I understand, because it's hard sometimes to get the context or the sarcasm. It's in a text. So it's always bad. You can't really read into it as with the intent, and I understand how you could have misinterpreted it. And given our zero tolerance policy, it seemed a little dodgy too, right? Okay, because there was one of our long-term supporters came in and hadn't been here in a long time and posted something that presidents should be able to do what they want. I think that was the comment, but I think it was misinterpreted to be like Trump he's a king, right? So anyway, whatever. All right, let's keep moving it on. Nice to see everybody, and thank you, Charlie from APS Radio News, for keeping the show going and growing, for your support, your emotional support, your kind words always. They mean a lot too, because it's nice to get some kind words in between the other words that you get. Right? You always welcome some kind words and the kindness in general for the community cats. And now's the time that it's getting cold out. It snowed today. Not too bad, though. Every time the weather gets cold, I think of the poor little community cats. But we do what we can. So thank you, Charlie, for everything you do, for the show, for me, for the little community cats, for, kindness. What else is life for? Unless you're Elon Musk, who's a sociopath, and life is for, I don't know, making more money? Imagine being the richest person on earth, but that's not enough for you. It's still not enough. Exactly. And yes, I see on the chat, I'm not going to be able to pronounce your name there, so I won't butcher it. The other term I've been hearing applied to the incoming regime is kleptocracy. And the reason I called this show This is Oligarchy was because that's what we saw unfold today, blatantly. I mean, it's been unfolding, And I watched this video. Bernie Sanders had a few words to say about it. And if you've been paying attention or not, just to catch you up, the government, how many times do we have to go through this? All the time. Every time there's a debt ceiling or a government shutdown or whatever, every time we got to go through this, because I think it's because they are funding the government 3 months at a time. That's how the richest country on earth does business when we're teetering in I don't know if we're teetering anymore. Are we? Is this teetering? No, we're a full-on government of by and for the billionaires. So okay, I'll call you immigrant son on the chat there. Nice to see you there. That was the word I couldn't pronounce, the name I couldn't pronounce. But thank you for the. And now I know what to call you, immigrant son. All right, Haiku, nice to see you. Haiku joins the list for backup for Jim. Well, they work side by side at the barricade, so I appreciate you both. And thank you, Jim, for your super chat right out of the gate. Not only does he work during the show, he also pays the cover charge. That's pretty much, that's, you would think. I wouldn't be such a cruel boss like that. But thank you, Jim. And Elise, nice to see you. Thank you for your super chat right out of the gate. And thank you, patrons. There are a lot of patrons in the chat room. Thank you, patrons, for, everything you do to keep the show going and growing and to keep me emotionally stable. All right, let's see. Where do we begin? So for those who weren't paying attention, Elon Musk is we're calling him President Musk, and that's it's not a statement of irony. It's a fact. Trader Trump has this parasite. I mean, Musk is a parasite by definition. He sucks on the on Earth. All right, I just don't get him. I know he's a sociopath. You have to be a sociopath to behave like this. It's a really sad life, I would imagine. Being the richest parasite on Earth, and it's still not enough for you. You still want to take funding for children with cancer? How scummy is that? How disgusting must you be as a human parasite to be that vile? How do you do that? How do you sleep at night? And that must be why he has all of his adult children don't want a damn thing to do with him, which says a lot. We all have our connection to our parents, at least, right? Our children, our parents, there's a primal connection. And the fact that the children of Elon Musk, he's the richest man on earth, and they want nothing to do with daddy. Isn't that sick? That must say, what a disgusting waste of human DNA he is. What a horrible parasite. And I see JD on the chat. Happy birthday, JD. Oh my God. Are you a Capricorn? Is you're a Capricorn like me? I didn't know you had a birthday around the same time as me. Everything is in relation to me. You remind me of me when I have a birthday. Wow. Congratulations. Thank you so much for sharing your birthday with us here in the chat and the Tarabuster community. You really are an important part of our little community here and our growing community. And I appreciate you. Thank you for being born. It really has improved Earth, and it's improved, not only in your community in England, but just think of all the work you're doing here in this effed up dying republic across the pond. It does matter. So I really believe that. That's why I would not be doing, oh, you're a Sagittarius. That's right. It's When, I don't know. When does Capricorn start? It doesn't matter. Why do I keep talking about signs? Didn't we talk about that last time too? Signs. All right. Yes, I got to get focused here. But happy birthday. Maybe later I'll sing you a song. How's that? Happy birthday, JD. You Sagittarius. JD. With the monkeys and the flunkies. That's what I sang to Boudica. Happy baby Boudica birthday to you. Woo. Maybe I'll do another one later. All right. Thank you for, keep coming back. Hold on. Here comes the music. We'll be right back. This is Tara Devlin, Tarabuster. All right. We're back. Later on, when we get through the progressive voices part of the show, we'll have more freedom to be, to be a little bit more loose with our time. All right. So, okay. Where do we begin? So Elon Musk is now, it's so embarrassing for Trump. Wouldn't it be, he's such a bitch. He's such a beta bitch, right? They're always talking about cucks and betas in the right-wing fascist oligarchy loving manosphere. But beta cuck, that's Trump, man. That's Trump. He has more fucking makeup than Dolly Parton, for Christ's sakes. His hair is more coiffed than her, and he's more fragile than a Fabergé freaking egg. And he's a bitch. He really is. He's everyone's bitch. He's Putin's bitch. He's Musk's bitch. Anybody that has any money, he's their bitch. That's why they went after, in this debt ceiling bill, shut it down. They had a deal until President Musk and his bitch Trader Trump got involved. Actually, let's start with Bernie's statement on this, and he basically breaks it down and calls it what it is. This is oligarchy. Where is it? Here we go.
Republicans reached an agreement called a continuing resolution, which would continue to fund the government for 3 months. Frankly, that agreement was not something that I was all that excited about, but it was better than nothing. And I was prepared and am prepared to vote for it. And one of the reasons is that it contained a reasonable increase in funding for primary health care, something that I feel very strongly about and that my committee, the Health, Education, Labor, and Pension Committee, is responsible for. And given the enormous crises that we're facing in health care in this country today, it really would be of help to many millions of Americans. What this legislation would do is significantly, or modestly at least, increase funding for community health centers all over this country, which treat about 30 million Americans who are low income or working class. And it would also increase the number of young doctors who go out into rural America and also into underserved areas. That is where we need the doctors and the nurses, and that's what this legislation would do. In any case, within the House of Representatives, the Republican House, and the Democratic Senate, there was widespread agreement on this resolution. And it was just about ready to be passed. In fact, the Republicans posted it on their website. We were ready to go.
President Musk.
But then, out of nowhere, the wealthiest man in the world, Elon Musk, began tweeting his opposition to this legislation. In fact,
it's disgusting.
He was very blunt about it. He told Republicans that if they voted for this proposal, which they had already agreed to do, he would take out his wallet and spend as much money as
this
it took
guy.
to
Oh my
defeat them
God.
in primaries
enough. It's
and drive
insane.
them out of office. You got that?
Yep, I do.
Take a deep breath and appreciate what's going on here.
All right, Bernie.
The wealthiest
I'll try.
person in the world, who spent at least $277 million to
Vile.
elect Donald Trump in a Republican Congress, has now claimed complete ownership
Yep.
of that party.
And I want to remind you that, well, money in politics is the root of all this evil. You know, I wonder if the politician pets that Elon Musk bought, I wonder if they will get tired of being, treated like pets by this filthy sociopath. I mean, maybe if I want to be optimistic, I know it's tough during these times, but maybe they'll be just as sick of these billionaires as we are. But of course, that's being generous to the Republicans. But don't you think? Wouldn't you? I'm not talking about the old guard like a Lindsey Graham or the types that have been in government for years and years. They're never getting out. That's for sure. They love their cushy, phony, baloney jobs. But some people, you gotta imagine, they ran for office to serve their constituents. Not J.D. Vance, of course, because he was funded by Peter Thiel, a billionaire, right out of the gate. They conspired and plotted together to get him into Congress and now into the White House. I mean, that's how disgusting these people are. And they try to tell you, this is why we hear, government is the problem. Government, strangle it, drown it, shrink it, drown it in a bathtub. Because government is the only thing powerful enough and supposedly that represents the general welfare. That's the only thing that can stand in the way of Elon Musk's and Peter Thiel's unbridled greed. They are disgusting wastes of human DNA. Plain and simple. But I do hope that, MAGA Mike Johnson, they have no decency in the least. I mean, they literally stripped out of the bill to please Elon Musk and Trader Trump. They took out funding for children with cancer. Because they always kick down on the powerless and the vulnerable. So that says it all. Your holy roller, MAGA Mike Johnson, he's so afraid to offend Jesus by touching himself. He doesn't want to touch his penis at all. That he has his son monitoring his masturbation activity on an app. I kid you not. That's a real thing that he openly talks about. Could you imagine? His son shouldn't be even thinking of his father's penis. Try not to think about your father's penis, and what do you think about? So, what does he do when he sees his father is touching his penis? What does he do? Does he come in and say, "Stop that, Daddy"? Or does he smack him on the penis with a rod? I don't know. It's so vile and weird, but that's the extent of their God. They have a very tiny God that is overly obsessed with the pee-pee. Everyone's pee-pee. Is the pee-pee in the right bathroom? Is it in the right place? Does it have, is it in the right clothing? Is it being made to feel comfortable enough, right? You don't want to upset the pee-pee by, talking about any kind of gender hierarchies or gender studies, forget it. Or, is the pee-pee, I don't know, I mean, that's their pee-pee, their the pee-pee police. Is the pee-pee, is Daddy touching his pee-pee? And that's I don't, not to make a small penis joke, but it's like, that's their tiny God, is really obsessed with pee-pees. Hold on a second. I mean, their God is so small. You understand? It doesn't give a shit about kids with cancer. Right? It doesn't care whether this Christian, this holy roller Christian, is ensuring that kids with cancer are getting the treatment that they need to live and make it to adulthood. But he cares that you're touching your penis. What a sick bastard. These people are sick. And all right, here, let's continue with Bernie.
And what you're saying is, hey, Republicans, forget your constituents, forget your constitutional responsibilities.
You don't got to remind them to do that.
If you don't do what Elon Musk, want you to do, you're out of office. And I have the money to do just that. My friends, what we are looking at here has nothing to do with democracy.
That's right.
What we are looking at here is oligarchy.
Yep, he's been
This
saying
is
it.
up and up.
Bernie's been talking about this for a long time. But you know what I didn't see when I was watching corporate media today? Not one of the corporate media mouthpieces mentioned that this is an oligarchy. This is not normal. It shouldn't be normalized. But that's what they did. They normalized it. They talked about Elon Musk tweeting, but they didn't mention the lies that he was tweeting as well. Because as soon as he realized, they were going to come to an agreement and pass the bill, he didn't like it because it didn't have this fund or the cap taken off the debt ceiling for 2 years. And the only reason they want to do that, President Musk and his traitor Trump bitch, his pet, they want to do that so they could steal more money from the vulnerable, from the people who need it. Social Security, Medicare, anything that doesn't have to do with making the rich richer and the working class, the more malleable working poor. I mean, that's on the chopping block. That's it. They want to suck money out of the nooks and crannies of your life and put it into their own rapacious profits, their own never-ending bottomless pit of greed. It's like, how disgusting. But I didn't hear that at all on the corporate media. None of the corporate media mouthpieces, no matter what channel you watched, none of them mentioned that this is not normal. This is not conducive to democracy. This is, in fact, a sign that money in politics is the root of all evil, and this isn't working. Who elected this freaking sociopath who uses his children as props? You see, he's carrying his tiny son on his back everywhere he goes. Oh, look at me. I'm an actual human. Look at me. I made a human being. Here's a human. See, I'm not a sociopath. I'm a dad, just like you. Except, no, not like you. Unless you're a sociopath too. Something is so sick. It's sick and twisted in the way that, see, he's sick, but do we all have to buy into this? It's another exercise in gaslighting. This is what the media's done to us. They've brought us into this period, this really shitty timeline, where billionaires they don't even have to hide it anymore. They're literally walking around in the halls of power and acting as if they were elected, for Christ's sakes. Nobody elected him, but did the maggots elect him? They did by extension, I understand that. How pleased are they going to be? I really hate to. One of the things that I will enjoy in the next 4 years is watching the leopards eat their faces, the maggot faces. But I won't enjoy the good people, who are watching good people get hurt. But when they come for the maggots, I'm going to say I'm going to really enjoy it. I'm sorry. They need to feel the sting of the lash of the country, of the situation, of this oligarchy that they brought about. Why? Because they're so, we're going to get to it. Let me finish with Bernie, but because they're racist. That's what it comes down to. They, like all over the world, all these fascist movements are taking hold because people are puny and tiny, like, like the God that Mike Johnson worships. Very tiny God that knows the history of the universe. He knows the alpha, the omega, every hair on your head. But all he gives a shit about is if you touch your pee-pee. He doesn't care about kids with cancer or old people, not being able to, eat. It's incredible. And it's sick. But why won't they point it out? I don't know. That's what's more frustrating, because we're on, of course, we do the show here, and I'm screaming into that dark night, but I feel like if you're not actually actively paying attention, you're going to be lulled into a sense of security, thinking this is normal. It's not normal. It's never been normal. But it's almost, actually, it's probably, this has been going on for years, of course, decades. I mean, money in politics. Every time the Supreme Court had an opportunity to limit the influence of big money in politics, they've neglected. They've made it worse. They've opened the spigot of dark money and corruption every time. They never take the opportunity to make the country more small d democratic, to take power away from the powerful. Never. Not a once. So that's why we're here. But it's always the conservatives. This is the conservative version of government. It's been from this founding, from before. The country itself, the United States, is a progressive experiment in democracy. It's a progressive initiative. Nothing is more progressive than overthrowing a king and an aristocracy that ruled Western civilization for thousands of years. And the conservatives have their fundamental underlying belief is that, basically how Rush Limbaugh put it, some people are born to be slaves. That famous quote. That's the guy that Trader Trump gave the Medal of Freedom to, right? Some people are born to be slaves. And sometimes that they give away the plot, They give it away. I think I thought I had that that Limbaugh thing. So you don't have to take my word for it. But yeah, that's conservatism in a nutshell. Some people are born to be slaves. And others are born into wealth, intergenerational wealth and privilege, and they're meant to rule. And that's the the whole that's the whole conservative ideology right there. The rich rule and own everything, and everyone else toils in the field and awaits their rewards in heaven without pestering their betters for anything. Government is the problem, right? Government is in the way. Government, except for the parts, we've been able to chip away at that a little bit, but all the while, I'm talking with Social Security, Medicare, the 8-hour workday, the weekend, so-called living wages. Now we still have a federal minimum wage that is below the poverty level by My God, it's ridiculous. And the Republicans don't want a minimum wage anyway. They want a maximum wage. There used to be maximum wage laws. So, because you don't want the plebs getting too uppity. And that's what it's about. Some people are born to be slaves. Like Ayn Rand said, grist, fuel to be spent by those who deserve it. It's the same way of saying it. And, where'd you guys go? I can't take when that happens. Sometimes the YouTube page just closes. But, yeah, not one... I watched the corporate media the whole day, and not one mouthpiece mentioned in their breaking down of what the drama. Is it going to pass? Is it not going to pass? What's in it? What's at it? Not one time did they mention how sick this is. How the system, how the very mere fact that Elon Musk has this outside influence on government is a symptom of the sickness. And it's not democracy, for F's sake. It's oligarchy. It's kleptocracy. It's kakistocracy, right? The rule of the stupid, the worst people. And not one of them ever say how vile it is that we have these billionaires. In general, they never question the very existence of billionaires while people are going hungry and kids with cancer can't get the goddamn treatment they need because those good Christian Republicans are standing in the way. Let's continue with Bernie.
Government by the billionaire class for the billionaire class. Mm-hmm. And by the way,
and that's what
Musk is not only trying to intimidate Republicans, he is trying to inject himself into the Democratic Party as well.
Yep.
He is threatening to target Democrats who are standing up to him and his agenda. Further, and very dangerously, and this is the guy who owns Twitter. As part of his campaign to defeat this resolution, Musk has been spreading an enormous amount of disinformation and outright lies about what is in the bill.
Okay, raise your hand if you heard any of that on any other media outlet. I was watching corporate media all day. Not once did any one of them point out the fact that Elon Musk was tweeting lies about what was in the bill. Because he counts on the stupidity of the Stockholm Syndrome suffering dupes who cheer him to believe every vile, filthy lie that comes out of his sociopathic lie hole. I did hear on the corporate media them say how, and then Elon Musk took to Twitter to signal his non-support of the bill or whatever. Well, it would have been a little bit helpful and maybe put some context and color on the report that he didn't just take to Twitter. He unleashed the flying monkeys of lies, which is something he's probably the best at it of all his skills. I know the other thing the corporate media likes to do with Musk is kiss his ass, and they must have some kind of, I don't know what it is. It's like they don't have the ability to fact check. They take everyone at their word. Just read a press release from Elon Musk's media team, but don't ever do some background on him. The fact is, he's not a genius. He's a guy that had money, just like Peter Thiel, and he made an investment. And we've gone through it on this show. I don't know why they always neglect to say the actual truth about this sociopathic con man. He's just like Trump in a lot of ways. I mean, Trump is worse because, I mean, they both suck, but Trump has been a less successful grifter because his grifts have been, tacky and small like he is. Because Trump has always looked for the for the quick buck, if you notice. That's why all of his grifts are very tacky. Like his perfume, his whatever, every little bullshit thing, his NFTs. And then before, when he was supposedly this great deal maker, this great businessman, he was never a great businessman. We all know that. That's why, what great businessman is a serial bankrupt tax cheat? Not a one. He's like, that makes me smart. I use the laws. Give me a list of all the real successful businessmen that have 6 bankruptcies on their resume. Absolutely disgusting. And, so Trump, he's never been a successful businessman. I mean, this is a guy that bankrupted a fucking casino, for God's sakes. It's like going broke selling crack or something, right? It's like that shit sells itself. A casino. How bad at business do you have to be to go bankrupt running a casino? Right? You gotta be a special kind of stupid. A really bad businessman at making deals. And we know what happened because there was an accountant when he was opening up that, what he called the 8th wonder of the world, the Trump Roach Motel, the Bedbug Motel, Trump Taj Mahal, that the reason it was, the guy who looked at the numbers, an actual accountant, who Trader Trump sued. That's what happened. It's just like Elon Musk. They have these, they have the scam, the fraud, the message that has to get out there. But it's bullshit. They're full of shit. Sadly, just like in the election, the American people are that small and tiny and racist and stupid that they bought the bullshit. They bought this con man's grift again. It's so disgusting. But when he ran the Trump casino into the ground, what he did, he bought everything at top dollar. So it didn't matter that he was buying in bulk. If you're buying in bulk, you're such a great businessman, you would get a good deal, you would think. You buy wholesale. He would buy things at retail. And that's why when the accountant looked at the numbers, because why? Because he wanted it. He's a little baby, like, me, I want that. And it didn't matter. They were like, well, let's make a deal. And the other people who worked for him, and what they described was that he was like a child looking at swatches all day. And it didn't matter. He wanted it, and he would buy it at any price. So it's like Medicare not being able to negotiate drug prices in a way. Just buy it at top dollar, whatever. So when the accountant looked at the numbers, he said, this casino is going to go bankrupt in 2 months. That you have to bring in at least $1 million a day in this casino for it to break even. And a casino in Atlantic City, you would think, they would bring in a lot of, no, this ain't, it's not Morocco. It's bus loads of seniors going up playing the nickel slots. Right? And they're getting a free lunch with the deal too. And a show. So you're not making you're not making $1 million a day in profit. So the guy said, this is unsustainable. You're going to go bankrupt in 2 months. And guess what? That's what happened. But before that, Trader Trump, he sued the accountant. He took him to court for defamation or libel, whatever the hell it was, because he didn't want him talking to the press, saying that Trader Trump is the fucking stupidest, most greedy little tacky swatch licking fraud that he's ever encountered. And he was proven right when the casino went bust. But, it's okay, because he left others holding the bag. That's usually what happens with him. No, not usually. That's what happens. No wonder that piece of shit thinks, so highly. I don't want to say he thinks highly of himself. He doesn't think highly of himself. Somewhere in there he knows he's a fraud. So that's why he's such a petty little bitch who has to, if you hit me, I hit you 10 times harder. What a bitch. What a little bitch. Okay, let's continue.
He said that the measure would include a 40% pay raise for Congress.
These are the lies.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
It is a 3.9% increase, the same as federal employees are receiving. He said that this legislation would fund bioweapons labs. Not true. In fact, it provides funds to protect Americans from emerging infectious diseases.
Oh, wow.
He said that the country would be just fine if the government shut down. Really? Here's what happens if Mr. Musk gets his way and the deal implodes. Funding for kids' cancer research gets cut.
Well, that's okay.
At a time when we're already paying the highest price.
All that expense, right? All that expense. They should just die. That's what Trader Trump said to his nephew, whose son has developmental disabilities. Wouldn't it be better if he was dead? What a vile... Where the hell do we live? Aren't these people gross? When will we have enough of them? I wonder. I mean, I've had enough of them before. I didn't have to see much to know that I had enough of them. I've seen all I need to see to know how disgusting they are. But these are really the most disgusting people on the planet. They're all getting together. They see the smash and grab going on in the United States. They want to get in on it. They see the United States, the poor grand experiment in liberal democracy. They see it imploding because of greed, selfishness, and they want in. But that alone, I mean, I'm trying to process it, because how vile must you be that's your mission, You're already a rich asshole. You're already the richest asshole on earth, and that's not enough. You have to you got to kill kids with cancer too. And let's not forget that President Manchild Musk and his bitch Trader Trump. Well, Musk himself could end poverty. Well, I got to find it, actually. Let's continue with Bernie. But I think he could end world hunger with, just a couple of billions off the top. I'm going to get the exact stats while we're listening to Bernie.
In the world for prescription drugs, pharmaceutical middlemen will be able to continue to overcharge you for your prescriptions. Americans recovering from devastating floods, fires, and hurricanes, often due to climate change, won't get the help that they need. That's what happens if the proposal goes down. And what happens if the government shuts down? Well, our troops won't get their paychecks. Nearly 7 million women and children who rely on WIC nutrition assistance could go hungry. And 2 million federal government workers, some of whom don't make a whole lot of money, won't be getting paid. Now let us be very clear. Elon Musk was not elected to be president of the United States.
What? What? Really?
In fact, he was not
He hates the same people I do, though. I think he's cool, the way he jumps in the air with his big fat belly. I think he's great. He hates the woke. He hates woke. Like me. He's not woke. He mocks the woke. I mean, this is what bitches these people are. He hates woke. Like me. He hates woke. So I'm gonna slit my own throat. 'Cause I'm not woke either. I hate trans people too. I want to misgender others. I hate immigrants too. You know, what I keep seeing on these conservative websites and like the conservative Reddit, they say things like, well, if we got rid of all these illegals, we could raise Social Security rates. We could raise our Social Security, as if the illegals, you know, we don't have enough for the Americans, the good Americans, because illegals are taking Social Security. I hear this shit. You know why? Because Elon Musk and the Republicans say that shit to them. And they believe it. That's how stupid they are. As we know, illegals don't get Social Security. They pay into it because these companies are giving them jobs. You know, they like hiring illegals. And well, there's a story I'll get to. One of Trader Trump's big mega donors just got busted for hiring illegals, you know, that he could exploit. They like that. They don't want people documented so they can exploit them. And they could treat them like shit, and the illegals can't complain, right? Who are they going to complain to? That's why they like it. I mean, the whole scam is right out in the open. That's why I hate these people, legally and peacefully, because, you know, they see the conspiracies everywhere. They'll see the conspiracies in the polio vaccine, right? Or wearing a mask across your face in the middle of a deadly worldwide pandemic. What a conspiracy. But they don't see the conspiracy right in front of them. That, you know, that they're being played. That these oligarchs and their Republican and Democratic pets, you know, their conservative pets, are just grabbing them by their rather pronounced racist funny bone and shaking the life out of them. They're just turning them upside down and shaking out all the spare change, too. And they don't see it. They see conspiracies and they want to be free. They're freedom. But they don't see the conspiracy that, don't you? Why wouldn't they charge or pass laws? You want to stop illegal immigration? Pass laws that make it illegal to hire undocumented workers. You know, like go after the corporations that hire them. But they don't. It's always kicked down on the little guy. Well, if they come here and there's no jobs, I mean, doesn't that make sense too? No, because it's the scam. They want the scam. They want the racist. They want the caravans, right? Because they want to tell these dumbasses that the caravans are coming to kill you. And then, we'll get to it. Let's continue with Bernie.
Elected to be dog catcher.
Oh, wait, hold on. I want to rewind that a little because I cut it off.
Be president of the United States.
Wait.
A lot of money. Won't be getting paid. Now let us be very clear. Elon Musk was not elected to be president of the United States. In fact, he was not elected to be dog catcher. And by the way, what all of this hoopla is really about, above and beyond everything I'm talking about, is that when Trump and Musk come into power in late January, do you know what their first order of business will be? You think it'll be to fix healthcare? You think it'll be deal with climate change? Deal with homelessness? Well, if you thought that, you're dead wrong. Their first order of business will be to provide massive tax breaks for the wealthiest people in this country and the largest
Hold on.
corporations. So think about
I'll
it.
be right back.
At a time of unprecedented income and wealth inequality, when Musk himself is worth almost $500 billion. What these guys want to do is give more tax breaks to billionaires and the heads of large corporations. So where do we go from here? Let us understand the gravity of what we are dealing with. This is not politics as usual. This is not just Democrats versus Republicans, conservatives versus liberals or progressives. It's much deeper than that. What we are dealing with right now is that the billionaire class, which owns so much of our economy, which owns so much of our media, they are now moving aggressively to own our political system as well. So we got a lot of work in front of us.
Right out in the open.
We've got to educate, we've got to organize, and we have got to stop them. Thank you very much. Have a great holiday season.
I'll try. Yeah.
Republicans.
That's the thing. But if it's not called out, it will be considered or treated as if this is normal. And that's what's driving me nuts. Make, here, actually, let me see. I got this. Where is it? Where is it, people? Because I thought I had this open where... hold on. This Ari Melber clip. Oh, here it is. Let me play it off the screen. It was driving me up the wall because not once did he mention, or did they even point out how this is not normal. Let's see if I can play it here.
Is on how to keep the government open.
Oh wait, it's on faster speed. Oh no, it's not. I thought it was.
Yeah, and you mentioned Elon Musk posting just recently.
It's a little
basically,
low.
he said the speaker did well given the circumstances. I guess he's learning on the job, but he went in a matter of days from burn it all down to sounding a little like a politician and saying,
"What the fuck?" It's a little low. In case you missed it, he said he's learning on the job. He went from burn it all down to sounding like a politician. He's learning on the job. What job? Nobody elected him to any job.
Under the circumstances, we didn't get what we want, but now we're okay with it.
Incredible.
I think it's always fascinating when business leaders from the private sector learn that Congress and the government and politics are a very different beast.
It's fascinating when business leaders learn that the government and politics are a very different beast. Who asked them? Isn't that fascinating? Why is that fascinating? It's not fascinating. It's disgusting and repugnant, and you should point it out that to the people watching that this is not normal. It shouldn't be this way. And in fact, they're so emboldened that they're not even hiding it anymore. It used to be a phone call, when no one was looking, or under the table, or what went on in the wine cave. But now it's right out in the open. Not only are they're not pointing out that Elon Musk is simply a liar, that money and politics is the root of all this evil, and he is also trying to influence other governments around the world. He recently tweeted, what does Robyn Kincaid on headon.live, what did she calls, it's an excrement. Yeah, that's what you do on X. It's right. It's an excrement. When he excreted that that only the far right fascist party of Germany can save Germany. This is who he is. He's a fascist. He is a con man. And he fits right in with the Republican Party. And they have no shame either. I heard this Republican on corporate media when they were running around sticking microphones in people's faces, but yet not telling anyone that Elon Musk shouldn't have anything to do with government. Someone said, they asked one of these Republicans, what do you think? Is Elon Musk gonna be what do you think? Is Elon Musk gonna support this bill or something like that? And he said, well, I'll take suggestions from any American that has a good idea. Really? Will you now? Will you? But can I come walking around? Can I walk around the halls of Congress with my cats and my guinea pig on my shoulders? I don't know. It's pretty embarrassing that they don't have any self-respect. And that's what I'm hoping too. You know, I don't know. At the end of the next 4 repugnant years, that the maggots, I hope they get what they deserve, quick and fast, thick and fast, really. But because get ready, we're about to go from, this is what's breaking my heart the more I think about it, we're going from the most pro-labor president in American history, since FDR, I should say, not in American history. Biden is the most pro-labor president since FDR. And we're going from the most to the worst president for working people since FDR. So, before, not, how come I can't talk? What's going on here? Hold on. No, he's probably, I wouldn't say since FDR. He's probably, we've had a lot of pretty bad periods in American history for working people. But Biden, it's heartbreaking. And the other day, there was at the Department of Labor, which Trader Trump is nominating, you better believe, a antagonist to labor, that's for sure. Everyone who gets a cabinet position in Trader Trump's maladministration will be an antagonist to the department that they are being chosen to lead. So rest assured for that. But so while President Biden was in at the Department of Labor giving a pro-labor speech, what they were doing was opening or unveiling a monument to Frances Perkins, who is the architect of the New Deal, the first female Secretary of Labor. She's the one who, when FDR asked her to be the Secretary of Labor, she came back with all of her list of what she wanted to get done. 8-hour workday, living wages, Social Security, health, universal health care was on the list. We are living in Frances Perkins' America, and Republicans are doing something about that. That's for sure. So, and at the time, it was the same old cries of socialism and at the end of freedom and blah, blah, blah. Same old shit. Commies, they're commies, especially with the 8-hour workday, by the way, because the 888 was the rallying cry of the Socialist Party. So, for FDR and Frances Perkins to pick up that mantle in itself was, oh well. The Republicans and the conservatives, they have no problem being entirely fascist, right? Being racist and it goes hand in hand, because the racism is part of the fascist building blocks of fascism. So the demonization of the other is part of how you get your authoritarian daddy to come in and save you from the scary, complex world of others who don't know their place. But while Biden was in, where was he? He was giving a speech. At the very same time, Trump was giving a press conference to this crack corporate media that we have. And guess what the corporate media chose to show? They didn't show the president unveiling the Francis Perkins memorial, or the monument, excuse me. They showed Trader Trump for over an hour. The American people were treated to the litany of lies. Well, here's some of President Biden's speech at the Francis Perkins unveiling memorial.
Out to protected pensions of millions of union workers and retirees. When I signed the Bush-Lewis Act. Think about that. Imagine what the average American would say if you were going to do that with their Social Security, which this guy wants to do.
Yep.
Imagine if he said your pension, you can't count it anymore.
Well, that's coming.
In addition, we've recovered more than $1 billion in back wages and damage for over 600,000 workers here in America.
Oh, well. They're coming for that.
We push for a right to a living wage and your right to overtime pay. Jobs and factories are coming back home to America because we invested in an American agenda. We're modernizing American industry.
Don't worry. Trader Trump will take credit for the jobs that are coming, thanks to Biden's infrastructure bill and the Chips and Science Act and all of his pro-labor policies that Trump will do everything in his power to unravel on day one.
Last guy had the job, he had infrastructure week every week.
Yeah.
Didn't build a damn thing.
That's right.
Well, guess what? We built a lot, and guess what's coming? We have $1.4 trillion in economic and infrastructure growth. That's thousands of good-paying jobs.
That's coming. Oh, don't worry. Trader Trump will be out there with the shovel. Right? No, what they should have done was send Harris out there in front of every factory that opened again, thanks to Biden's infrastructure and the Chips and Science Act, including the solar panel factory in Perjury Trader Green's district, right? How come I never heard about that? Well, we talked about it on the show, but they never. The Democrats never toot their own horn. They're too busy saying how everything is bipartisan. Exactly. Jim on the chat says, okay, Joe, so now you're taking credit, right? Now you're doing it? Where were you? And some of it is the fault of the corporate media because they choose to show the train wreck of Trader Trump than they did our very own president, who was getting things done for the American people. Now, you notice how this effing Trader Trump is going out there and he's downplaying how he can get the price of eggs down, right? It's very difficult to change the price of things. That's the hardest thing you can do because he knows what's coming. He doesn't have any ideas. What's he gonna do? He's gonna do what he did last time, which was take credit for the economy that Obama left him. Now he's gonna take credit for the economy that Biden left him, and he's gonna fuck it up. He will make a shit show out of it as soon as they start trying to, and that's why they wanted to end the debt ceiling for 2 years, raise it, and not have any conversation about it, make it unlimited, because he's got plans to give tax breaks to the billionaires again. And you got to get it from somewhere. You got to run up the deficit, which is exactly what he did the first time. Trillions. And they complain, oh, Joe Biden ran up the debt. Not to the extent of Trader Trump. How much did Trader Trump? It was ridiculous. Trader Trump. See, I always call him Trader Trump. Even when I'm asking Google a question. Ran up the deficit. Because it's just a joke. The Republicans, they pretend to care so much about these things, just like they care about Jesus. They care so much about Jesus, don't they? That's why trans people have to be harassed and like with pitchforks and torches. If they could do that, they'd get them out. But yeah, as for what Jesus really said to do, I mean, there's no debate. I mean, there's expressed and explicit instructions from the Savior they pretend to worship, and I don't hear any shit. Nothing about trans people or anybody's pee-pee. I do hear about helping the poor, helping the needy, giving all your money away, and following him. Yeah, Trump added $8 trillion to the gross federal deficit during his presidency. When measured over 10 years, policies enacted under Trader Trump are estimated to add $8.4 trillion to the debt, including $7.3 trillion in primary deficits and $1 trillion in interest alone. Okay? Unbelievable. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. I love it how they name these things. There's no jobs in this fucking bullshit bill that they passed. Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, because they always say that. They got to call it the jobs bill. Jobs. Granny gets hers, right? Everyone's getting a piece of the pie, right, Bill? Well, it's going right down Elon Musk's greedy, filthy, sociopathic gullet. Goes right down into that black hole of need and greed. It reduced, so this Tax Cuts and Jobs Act had no damn jobs in it, reduced the corporate tax rate from 35% to 21%, because it was so much at 35%, even though bullshit, they are making record profits. They have always in my entire life. The corporate, they're always like, oh, we're broke. Don't you remember when John Boner was going, we're broke. Everybody's broke. This country's broke. No, it's broken. It's broken. The soul is broke. Broken. You're not broke. If they were broke, we wouldn't have these buku corporate profits through the roof. Oh, we're so broke. The stock of United Healthcare is trading at near $500 a share. Isn't that disgusting? So broke. We're broke. Let's see. The CBO estimated that Trader Trump's tax cuts would add $1.9 trillion to the two deficits over 11 years. Trillion. Now we're talking about real money, right? While the pandemic-related relief spending was necessary to prevent economic collapse, federal finances were already strained. Trader Trump's administration spent over $3 trillion on pandemic-related stimulus. Well, we can't blame them there, but the annual deficit rose from 2 to 3% of GDP projected by the CEO before Trump took office to nearly 4% and 4.6% in 2019, even during a period of economic growth and low unemployment thanks to the economy left to him by Barack Obama. Trump, his debt accumulation per year, Trump outpaced other presidents, and it says critics argued that Trader Trump's fiscal policies lacked, it relied on overly optimistic projections. You mean lies? You mean he lied to people? He said, I'm going to promise the moon, but I can't deliver a pizza? Let's listen to the end of this clip, the rest of President Biden.
The CHIPS and Science Act, investing billions of dollars building these fabs. They're going to house hundreds of people working, thousands. They're going to be getting paid about average $102,000 a year. Don't need a college degree.
Trader Trump will take credit for that.
So much is going on, but it's going to take a little bit of time.
Isn't that disgusting, thinking about how this filthy con man is going to take credit for everything that President Biden did? And these maggots, I can't stand them because they have no... Yeah, no, the video's stuttering. I'm sorry, because I had... Don't worry. You can hear the audio, but the video... Because I recorded it off my phone. I didn't realize it was stuttering. But anyway... But these maggots, you know, they don't even have the manners or the maturity or the decency to say thanks to President Biden. Right? All they did was kick him in the balls and kick the Democratic Party in the ball. Not that the Democrats are perfect. They're not. They're annoying as fuck, and I'm here for it to talk about it. They really piss me off. But the problem is money in this shitty, sick ass system. And all right, I don't even know. Let's, like, for example, there's so many things happening. So, you know, Biden, historian gives Joe Biden a higher grade than any president since FDR. President Joe Biden. Let's see. Who wrote this? What's the guy's name? Eric Loomis, professor of history from the University of Rhode Island, right? What the hell? Hold on a second. Joe Biden's pledged, this was written in May, okay? So it's a little old. Has pledged repeatedly to go further than any of his predecessors with his support for U.S. labor rights. I intend to be the most pro-union president and the most pro-union administration in American history, Biden said in September 2021. And that brought together ordinary workers, labor leaders, and government officials. And I don't want to read the whole thing, but let's just summarize. So Biden has been praised as the most pro-union president since FDR, accomplishing significant labor-supportive actions while navigating opposition from Congress and the Supreme Court. And let's remember that he had the slimmest margin in the House and the Senate, and he still got these amazing policies passed, like the Chips and Science Act. Finally, we're making chips in America. This is something that these filthy Republicans constantly talked about, how it was a threat to national security that we weren't making these computer parts. You know, but they don't give him goddamn credit. This is how the Republicans, I mean, they only give a shit about power. Conversely, the reason the Democrats are so irritating in a lot of ways is that, you know, they're motivated by making the government work. You know, that's it. It seems, I mean, of course, there are greed-centered ghouls, too. But it does seem that they have a more vested interest in making the government work for people. Not all the... I mean, I'm not delusional completely about their motivations, but the proof is in the pudding here. They're not just passing billionaire tax cuts. And Biden, you know, this is what's so heartbreaking. I feel bad. It's terrible to think that this is the thanks he gets for doing these things for the American people, but it is also the fault of the Democratic Party for not messaging this. And if you're frustrated, as I am, like if the Democratic Party is as frustrated as I am about the media not helping Biden get the word out about these policies, then they should do what the Republicans did for decades. And that's work the refs, like the Republicans did. They constantly talked about the liberal media, right? Until so much so that it's just ended up that everybody just thought it was a liberal media. When empirically, at this time, I remember having an argument with my former brother-in-law, because he was a maggot in the making back then. And he said something, oh, well, the liberal media. I'm like, and I was in grad school at the time. No, I was in I was in undergrad, but studying communications. And we were discussing this. And they had done studies. Well, is the media really liberal? And no, of course not. It's not a liberal media. But the fact is, truth has a liberal bias. That's what the maggots at the time, when they were called Reagan Democrats or just regular old Republicans, that's what they were messaging, because they were working the refs. You know, truth has a liberal bias. They don't want, if you tell the truth about them, they're going to whine and squeal and say, what Trader Trump is saying now, fake news, fake news. Incredible. And in my opinion, the Democrats should follow their lead in that sense, and tell the corporate media, whenever they grade the Republicans on a curve, which they do, this is like nothing is expected of the Republicans. It's just to point it out. They're not expected to act decently. Or why don't you just point out the fact that here are so-called Christians defunding cancer treatment for the for kids with cancer. I mean, it's just so disgusting. And why won't you point that out? Because it's not that they haven't made it a political talking point, for Christ's sakes. They have their fake ass Christianity on their Twitter accounts. I wonder if it's still up there with Marco Rubio. Let's see. Let me go on Rubio's Twitter account. Marco. It's not just him, though. It's all of them. Let's see how he describes himself. Oh, it's not there anymore. Oh, no, that's a different one. No, he must have a personal account. That's it. Yep, right there. Christian, husband, father, American, senator from Florida with a exclamation point. Christian, that's number one. Right up there. I'm a Christian. Are you, Marco? Really? How? How are you a Christian? What have you done for to please the Christ that you pretend to worship? Oh, you bash on gays. You bash on trans people. You kick down on the vulnerable and you kick the hungry in the stomach. You try to defund people's health care. You build a wall. Forget welcoming the stranger. Right? How Christian? I wish they were Christian. I really, really do. I really, really do. So it's incredible. But it's not us making it a thing. Of course, they'll be like, oh, well, you're attacking us for our faith now. This is our faith. And no, I'm not attacking you for your faith. I'm calling out your hypocrisy. Because, of course, all the Democrats will also have to proclaim how Christian they are. And they'll say, well, from where my studies of the Bible, I've not just concluded, but all the great historical, the actual religious scholars say that, a rich man can't get through the eye of a needle. It would be easier for him to get through the eye of a needle than get into heaven. Why can't I talk? And I don't know. I think Jesus said things like, give all your money up and follow him and feed the hungry and care about people, not be a dick. But here you are, not doing any of those things. Defunding healthcare. Okay. It's incredible. But they don't. I don't know why. Because they don't want to seem impertinent. What is it? They don't want to seem. I don't know. I saw Biden being interviewed by the guy from Midas Touch, and he asked him, "Well, you're going to Trader Trump's inauguration, but he didn't go to yours. What do you say about that?" And he said that something like, well, this is who we are. We're Americans, and we have to act a certain way and all this other shit. I'm not saying he shouldn't go to the inauguration, but he should not forget what he's dealing with. And all of a sudden, as soon as that maggot won, that parasite maggot won by the slimmest of margins, it was all, okay, we're not fascist. He's not a fascist? No, he's a fascist. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we got problems. I'm sorry, Buddha. Buddha wants to sit. Come on, Buddha. Poor Booty. That's usually where she lays, so Francis is taking her spot. I guess she was a little bit, hey, that's my spot. So, yeah, but, it's, to me, it seems like the Democrats are more interested in modeling good behavior for the Republicans, but this is never returned. It's never reciprocated. They're not going to change. Republicans, they're not changing. In fact, I'm sick of the Democrats. I don't know if you join me on that, but I'm sick of them coming to the rescue of the Republicans. Oh, this is a must-pass bill, and all. Let them. This is their bill. They had a deal, and this piece of shit parasite billionaire man-child and his pet president got involved. And then when they realized it was tanking, that they weren't going to pass with, man-child Musk's dream of having no debt ceiling, no debt limit for him to siphon into his greed-centered black hole of need and greed, into that pit. Then Trader Trump tweeted or excremented, "This is Biden's problem to fix." Isn't it always, though? Because the Democrats, that's what the Democrats do. Guarantee, everyone, what's going to happen in 4 years? If we have an election, by the way. Because they're already floating this, they're floating, Trader Trump should run for another term. But the guarantee, by the end, the Democrats are going to come in and clean up another filthy, filthy mess. But this is the end of the Progressive Voices part of the show. Thank you, Progressive Voices, for hanging out. Come on over to youtube.com/cfachannel/Tarabuster to watch the end of the show. Become a patron at patreon.com/TaraDevlin. And become a watcher of all the great independent media voices at APS Radio News. Tarabuster's part of that amazing platform. Thank you, Charlie, for keeping me going and growing here. Oh my God, is that the end? I can't believe that went by so fast. But thank you, Charlie. APS Radio News. And patrons, patreon.com/TaraDevlin. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, where's Ray Ray? We got the whole gang here. Uh-oh. Oh, no, I looked at Tara Jr. Uh-oh. Here he comes. Fuck. No, go lay down. He's coming over. Ray Ray. Where's Ray? Ray Ray. I'm sorry. Screaming in your ear here. Ray. Uh-oh. Tara Jr. I knew it. I looked him in the eyes, and that's it. That's his cue. Hold on. Come here. Come here. I gotta put you back. Ha. You're back. You're back where you started. Look at that. How'd you get back there? Yes, I'm a mess here. I got a cut on my hand and a broken pinky. Everything sucks. Okay. Where do we go? Okay, so here, let's go here for a minute. Oh, I also wanted to. Here's the other things. I'm trying to keep it tighter. That's what she said, right? Where the hell is it? Where's my note? Now we're free. We're free to be ourselves. No more worrying about the music cue, the audio cues. So, okay, man-child Musk could end world hunger if he wanted. Here's what he could do. So, Musk, Okay, in late 2021, man-child Musk publicly challenged the UN's World Food Program to outline how $6 billion of his fortune could address world hunger. This amount represents approximately 2% of his net worth at the time. Oh my God, excuse me. At the time, which estimated to be, I hope I don't have the hiccups. That's going to suck. Around 288 billion. The World Food Program responded with a detailed plan that his funding could provide food assistance for 42 million people across 43 countries facing severe hunger. The proposal detailed how 6.6 billion, slightly above the challenge, would be allocated to deliver meals and vouchers for those in urgent need. But of course, despite the World Food Program's prompt and structured response detailing how these programs could be immediately implemented to address hunger, he redirected the funds to his own foundation. This decision sparked criticism and raised questions about the accountability and effectiveness of philanthropic efforts. Fuck this. Right? You know what we could do? I don't know. The French had a remedy for it. I think it was called the Legally and Peacefully National Razor. Legally and Peacefully. But don't do that. That's bad. Okay, let me see. He could end world hunger. He could also, as far universal health care, or he wouldn't be able to end or provide a universal health care system in the United States because U.S. spends trillions annually, because we spend more than every other developed nation, even though we have the worst health outcomes. We leave millions out, and we consistently rank dead last in all positive measures, but we spend trillions more because, we got to make a few people very rich. And as we saw with what happened to that United Healthcare CEO, the people hate the system, but there's nothing we can do about it because we're living in an oligarchy and with learned helplessness. But we do have some immigrants to kick around, and trans people, trans kids to harm and try to force into suicide, I guess. I don't know. That's what you get here in America. You get to have guns. I was watching some YouTube, one of these cop YouTube shows that they have, but it's just body cams of cops. And they went to this Florida home because a couple of young men, and one was 19, the other was 18, that were doing DoorDash together. They were driving around doing DoorDash, but somebody, according to them, cut them off. Something like that. And they started shooting at him out at the window of their car. And the police were called, and they showed up at the guy's. They had the license plate. So whoever called it in gave the license plate. Cop shows up at the door. He's very nice to these young men. And he's asking them, you know, what did you do? Of course, they lied at first, but then he said, look, we're going to have the video. We're going to have we have you dead to rights, blah, blah, blah. Because apparently they got it on someone's dash cam. And so then he admitted it. And he was saying the reason I'm bringing it up, because they were like, this was Florida, and the cops were like, well, you can have a gun. The kid was like, it's legal for me to have a gun. And the cop was like, yes, it is. You can have a gun. And he said, I wanted to get a gun for home protection. I can get an AR-15 or a shotgun, but I can't get a handgun because I don't have the proper ID or something. And he goes, and the cop said, you don't need an ID to get a handgun. This is Florida, or something like that. It was, whether it was the AR-15 he couldn't get, but the cop was advising him, you don't need an ID to get a gun. This is Florida. And I was like, don't you feel safe in Florida now? Like that these two assholes can drive around shooting at cars that they say cut them off, which is probably bullshit. So, yeah, that's freedom for you. Is that freedom? Really? That's how cowardly you are, and that's that you really feel safer with these two assholes able to get an assault weapon for home defense. They're like, I can get an AR-15 or a shotgun for home defense. Home defense? Where do you live? This isn't The Walking Dead. What do you need an assault weapon for home defense? An assault weapon. Somebody's gonna... What are you gonna do? You're gonna AR-15 them. I mean, or whatever. Like just a regular old gun? That's not good enough? You're not shooting zombies. We're not at war. This ain't the Civil War too. It's fucking people. You see, I mean, what a sick country. When I was watching that video, I was like, what the fuck? Aren't you, I mean, I live in New York, so I'm glad I live in a place where I'm not afraid that, you know, a 17-year-old and a fucking 19-year-old have guns in their car. And they have no, they don't need, what do you call it, an ID to get it? It's incredible. They don't need an ID because they're free, but then they don't have the brain or the, you know, the frontal lobe brain power to understand that, to put the pause between the thought and the action. That maybe it's not a good idea to willy-nilly shoot my gun out the window when I'm driving down the highway. That's not a good thing. So, but that's okay because that's the way Florida wants it. And it's all Republican policies, you know what I mean? That's what it is. It's these fucking Republicans making the society suck. Because they have no, I mean, there's no reason someone needs, you know, a 17-year-old and a 19-year-old to have a gun in their cars. That's, you know, kind of the recipe for disaster. You need your 17? You go fucking join the National Guard. Go join the Army. You want to play with guns? It's unbelievable. And you had to see these two winners, too. Oh, and the other thing was that when they first went to the house, the mother answered the door, and they asked her, this is, your son here. Does he have a gun? And she lies. She goes, he doesn't have a gun. He doesn't have a gun. But then, when it all got revealed, it ends up that the son, who didn't know that the mother had said that, told the cop, well, when I got home from shooting randomly at passing cars out of my moving vehicle down the highway, I said, oopsie, maybe that wasn't a good idea. And I gave my gun to my mommy. And then mommy took it away. So what? So the mommy lied. Wait, hold on. Hey, enough. Here we go. Right? Didn't this happen last time, too? It's like, what time do they start this? This is what's happening. Boudica is young. Tara Jr. is old. She's trying to play with him. He doesn't want anything to do with it. And he starts getting upset. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. All right, mister. Get up here. That's why I want him away from her for now. Yeah. I don't know. It's insane. This country is fucked up, guys. You have better access to guns than you do healthcare. That says it all. Booty, be nice. Oh boy. Oh boy. So what else could he do with his money? He could, so universal healthcare would require a substantial investment to ensure access to medical services for all, but he could fund specific areas of health care, like pediatric health, rural health care infrastructure, or vaccine accessibility, which, that's on the chopping block, too. I can't believe that people voted for polio over having $25,000 to buy their first homes. I hope they all get polio. I do. I feel bad for the kids, though. I feel bad because it's not their fault. Their parents are maggots. But, I mean, what are they going to say when their kids get polio? Unfortunately, their little disease vectors are going to give the parents of good, the poor kids of good parents, they're going to get them sick, too. See, we all have to suffer when maggots rule. It's incredible. So what else? He could fund large-scale initiatives such as affordable housing, and which would eliminate homelessness in the United States. That's what he could do. That's why, enough with these fucking billionaires. We don't need them. We don't need a billionaire. They need to be taxed. Elon Musk should be taxed into, he shouldn't even be a millionaire. He's not, first of all, we all know he's a grifter. He got his money from daddy, and then he invested in businesses. That's it. Whatever. He made a good investment, and then he parlayed that into another company that was already functioning without him. Thank you very much. And let's not forget, too. In fact, somebody reminded me. I think I was listening to, I don't remember, Stephanie Miller or something. And Musk was bailed out. Tesla was bailed out by Obama. Remember that? And I've totally forgot about that. So he is good at government contracts. That's it. He's a parasite. He's good at taking money from we the people. Let's see, where is it? I hate when I get all these articles together and then they disappear. Let me see. Obama bailed out Musk. Let's see. That's when this is the fiction he tells everyone. I used to be a Democrat. No, you were like Traitor Trump. And that's another thing that the like the Morning Joe crew always talks about. He was a New York Democrat. No, he wasn't. Traitor Trump was a New York Democrat. No, he lived in New York, and New York was a Democratic and is a Democratic town. So he wasn't a New York Democrat. He gave money to Democrats because they were the ones in power. That doesn't make him a New York Democrat. It makes him, an opportunist, just like Elon Musk. So he sidled up to Obama when Obama was in charge of was the executive branch, was in the executive, and the Obama administration provided a $465 million bailout to Tesla. Yeah, in an economic downturn, Tesla Motors was struggling financially and sought government assistance. Let it go broke, right? Isn't that the rules of the market? The market decides. Just like in our healthcare. If the market has to decide our healthcare, then the market should decide whether effing Elon man-child Musk gets to rule us. I don't know, gets his company bailed out if he made a bad investment. Isn't it funny how these people never feel the pain of their own bad decisions? It's just us, though, right? They always have to talk about how we got to have skin in the game. We have to, responsibility, personal responsibility. But they never take any responsibility. Oh, it's only personal responsibility if you're a kid with cancer. If you're if you're a mother trying to care for a kid with cancer. You work your 3 uniquely American low-paying jobs with no benefits, no retirement security or health care. Unreal. But, here's the other thing. Major Trump donors who complained of immigrant invasion used Mexican workers illegally. Who's surprised? Anybody? Bueller? Experts believe the alleged shuttle support program used by Uline, a company owned by billionaires Liz and Dick. That's how when they combine, like Brennifer or whatever the hell. They'll combine the names. Like, Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston, or Liz and Dick should be Lick, right? Lick Olheim, or I can't even pronounce this. Oh, Jesus. Online, whatever, is likely illegal and exploitative of workers. Who's surprised? Now, this is a fucking dirtbag parasite who I'm sure gets a lot of government contracts too, and helped pay for Trader Trump's presidency. The same people that are like, drown it, put it in a bathtub and drown it. About the government, they sure do spend a lot of money trying to buy that government. I mean, Elon Musk spent a $250 million buying the government, buying himself a toy president. And a Guardian investigation claims, meaning it's true. Well, fake news. They're just trying to smear our God King traitor Trump president. He's the best businessman ever. Why? And billionaires, what I hear from average Joe morons, they always say, no poor person ever gave me a job. That's their excuse for being a Stockholm Syndrome suffering dupe. And they don't seem to understand, really. Not that I'm like, I didn't go to business school. I'm not like Trader Trump. He didn't go to business school either, by the way. He paid people to go to school. You think he sat in a fucking classroom? You're stupid if you think, not you guys on the chat are not, of course, but there's no way he sat in a classroom and took notes and read books. No way. No effing way. And in fact, we have his niece, Mary Trump, who says he paid people. He paid people to take his SATs, to take his classes, to take his tests, to sit in class for him. That's why he's an ignorant cuss. He thinks he gets it through the genes. You know, his uncle was an MIT. He worked at MIT, so that means he knows everything about M's, I's, and T's. So, a Guardian investigation claims that Uline, a company owned by Uline, Liz and Dick, illegally employed dozens of Mexican workers using tourist and B-1 visas for regular warehouse jobs. This contradicts, in case I have to point it out, their public anti-immigration stance. Who's surprised? Because it's the scam. This is the scam. Hate the politically unconnected and vulnerable. Don't point your anger at Uline or any of other billionaires. That's how stupid they know maggots are. And all those who voted for Trader Trump. Are we living in a country of goldfish? I assume in order to vote, a lot of the Americans who voted for this parasite, Trader Trump, lived through the first shit show. But let's give him a shot. Let's go from the most, the greatest, the best labor president, the most pro-labor president since FDR, and let's go to the most disgusting scab we've ever had since the first Gilded Age, who his entire presidency, the first time, was marked by his actions that were harmful to workers. He appointed corporate lawyers to the National Labor Relations Board, antagonists to the very department that they were, supposed to lead. He, all of his decisions in Trader Trump's NLRB led to weakening of collective bargaining rights and made it easier for employers to undermine any kind of union effort or any union pushback of corruption against the working class. These idiots, they think that we have 8-hour work days because billionaires felt like trickling that on us, or a weekend. I hope you enjoy your weekend, maggots. You ungrateful bastards. Goddamn ingrates, really, right? Trump signed executive orders that restricted labor rights for federal employees because everywhere he could, he kicked down on those that these idiots who voted for him. He put a hat on. Remember that? It was like toot toot. He got behind the wheel of a truck. Bing bing, toot toot. Well, he made a face. Oh my God! Where do I live? How stupid are my fellow Americans? I'm so sick of you all. You should be ashamed. Anyone who voted for him, you're a fucking moron. I'm saying it because the goddamn Democrats won't. What is wrong with you? Toot toot. He wore a hard hat. Oh, and then he called somebody a horse face and a fat pig. I love that. He's just like me. I also hate fat pigs. God. Toot toot. Oh, and then wasn't it great when he pretended to give the microphone? He pretended that he was going down on a microphone. That was the greatest. Just like me. I want to go down on a microphone. Listen to them. Listen to them. Listen to them laugh. Look at these fucking idiots behind him. Look at these two women. Ha ha ha! He's the best. And this guy with his head thrown back. Ha ha ha! What a classic. I feel so proud to be an American now, watching the candidate for the most important and powerful office in America and the world. Watching him go down on a microphone. You fucking disgusting pig. Look at that guy in the fucking background, too. Oh, he's just like us. We also love giving head to microphones. Imagine if Harris had done that, right? Imagine if Biden was sundowning so hard. We had to hear about how he's demented. He doesn't know where he is. This fucking guy was sundowning so hard. He doesn't talk about not being able to put the pause between the thought and the action. That's what happened there. That's what we witnessed. It was late. He couldn't get the microphone to work. He started to fool with it. And then his pea brain, because he's such a pig, no offense to pigs, the pigs are charming and intelligent, and they give to Earth. Not Trader Trump or any of his filthy maggot co-conspirators. But anyway, this is what happened. He started moving the microphone around, and in his tiny, sick-ass little disgusting sexual assaulter pea brain, his brain said, oh, that's like jerking a dick off. And he couldn't help himself. That's what happened. And so then he was like, Exactly. That's what he did. Because he's sundowning. It was late. He didn't know that that's not appropriate. Because also he's being encouraged up until, this was like a week before the election. And he was, everything he does, he's encouraged to do it. Everyone loves it. He wants to please the crowd of dupes. He'd shove that microphone up his ass if he had to. Oh, vote for me. Look what I'll do for you. This is what I'll do to them. I'm going to shove this up their ass. That's it. That's what happened. I've never been more embarrassed to be an American than now. And especially, it was bad the first time. But the fact that I live in a country of morons who's lived through the first time and wanted more, said more, please, again, when my nephews and nieces were little, and nieces, and we would watch Teletubbies, and they say, again. I guess you got to be like a child. Just think that, you have no perspective. Kids, that's why summer's so long, because it's only, it's like for a child, right? Summer's like never ends. That's because it's like a very large portion of their life so far. And they have no perspective. They have no wisdom of experience. I guess that's the same thing you could say about Americans who voted for it really is embarrassing. Because, he's a felon. He's a goddamn rapist. Oh, and trust me, when ABC settled that suit, they only did it because it was $15 million, whatever. It would cost them more to bring it, to trial or whatever, and to fight it. Because he sued them for calling him a rapist or whatever. Stephanopoulos, whatever his name is. They would have won. He said it. The judge said it. He's a rapist. I have it right here. Judge, let's see. Calls Trump a rapist. Yeah, clarifies. Judge clarifies. Yes, Trump was found guilty of raping E. Jean Carroll. That's what he said. It's like what's going on with this Luigi Mangione guy. He was charged with second-degree murder, which is, it seems like it's less murdery than first degree, but it's not in New York. It's like a first degree murder charge. So, yes, but same thing. Traitor Trump was found liable for sexual abuse, and that he raped E. Jean Carroll. Kaplan noted that New York penal law, this is the judge, has a far narrower definition of the word rape than in common modern parlance, but its definition in some dictionaries, in some federal and state and criminal statutes and elsewhere, that the finding that Miss Carroll failed to prove that she was raped does not mean that she failed to prove that Mr. Trump raped her. That's what the judge wrote. Indeed, the trial evidence recounted below, this is the judge, says that the jury found that Mr. Trump did in fact rape E. Jean Carroll. That's the judge. They would have won. But it's not worth it to the big corporation to take it to trial. It's easier to just say 15 million, whatever, chump change. But they should have. But we can look forward to more of the what are they calling it? Don't comply in advance. This is what's happening. We see it happening. That's why all these billionaires and all these others, like these tech bro assholes, they're all saying, who called Trump what he is, a Nazi, a fascist, a rapist, a liar, a filthy, disgusting sociopath who is, liable, who sent a felon, who sent a mob to defecate and urinate in the halls of Capitol and blah, blah, on and on. They all said he's like a Hitler. But now they're kissing his ass because they're cowards. But history will not be kind to these people. Hold on a second. This is the end of the show. Whatever, we will win. We will win. We're on the right side of history. I'm just gonna continue a little bit. I don't know why I need to play the whole song here. We're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. Thank you, Charlie from APS Radio News. Check out APS Radio News. There's many more independent media voices, not just me, even though I'm the most important. I'm just kidding. And become a patron at patreon.com. We stick together, we win. And come on, hang out on Friday nights. If you're listening at another time, come on over. youtube.com/cfachannel/tarabuster and hang out in the greatest chat room in American history. And I want to say one more thing. Happy birthday, JD. Did you know it was JD's birthday today? Happy birthday, JD. Happy birthday, JD. J to the D to the J to the birthday, JD. He's having a birthday today. And this is not auto-tuned. I wish it were. But it's me singing happy birthday, JD. It's a freestyle. It's late in the day. Yay, yay, yay. Let's go and say happy birthday, JD. Trying to make it rhyme. I don't know if it's working or not, but I like it. I like this beat. True, Errol, on the chat. It's very catchy, as beats go. Where is Boudica? Where's my booty boo when I need her? Look now. Junior won't even look at me. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Hey, JD, I see you're still there. All right, happy birthday. Welcome to your birthday song. And it took a long time to get here. Thank you for sticking it out. And, sticking it in. That's what she said. Okay, it's all good. I don't know. Was that necessary? Maybe not, but it's all a way to say happy birthday, JD. When can I come and hang out and sleep on your couch when I flee this fucked up country that my granny took me to? Granny, I need to have a word with you. Oh well, what are you gonna do? It's your birthday. Thank you for being a part of this community and for all you do. This can go on all night. All right. Happy birthday, JD. All right. I wish I had auto-tune. They must have something that will make you sound better. But it's more authentic, I suppose. It's more like this, though. It's like a car crash. All right. Let's see. If you go, yeah, you never know. If you support the show, you might get a birthday song. If you hang out, I mean, JD, you've earned it. Thank you so much for all you do, JD. You're an important part of the community. All right, where was I? What were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about these monstrosities. Where is it? Major Trump donor monstrosities. let's finish that up. So here's what they did. This is how disgusting they are. Okay, lawyers and immigrant advocates who told The Guardian they believe the alleged practice is likely illegal. Likely. So what they did, it's illegal, but they are parsing their words. They ran something called shuttle support program that brings Mexican workers to U.S. warehouses using tourist and B-1 visas. You're not supposed to work, when you're a tourist. So that's a violation of the visa terms. But these workers reportedly perform standard warehouse tasks rather than training. And that's what they did. They were coming in on B-1 visas under the guise that they were being taught, like they were training them, I guess, to take home their knowledge to their home country. But of course, they were simply here to be exploited by Trump's donors. Because, the same donors who funded ads talking about how immigrants were it was an invasion, how open borders and all this other bullshit. Oh shit! All right, come on, then. All right. Relax. I'm sure you heard Tara Jr.'s in the house. Where's my phone? Let's get the cat cam going, I guess. Come on, cat cam. What's going on? It's not working. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's the one that's upside down. Why does it do that? So irritating. All right, here we go. We got a cat cam. Okay, everybody. All right, now you're stepping on the fucking keyboard. All right, so let's see. Lawyers. Where am I? I need a lawyer. Hello? Can you just sit down and stop? The show's going off the rails. It's going off the rails. Okay, so what they did was they brought these workers in from Mexico under false pretenses with false visas, and they housed them in company dorms and things like that. I mean, it's right out of the Gilded Age, of course, the first Gilded Age. And they did this so they can pay them a shit wage, not pay Americans that have rights, and they could do whatever they want to these people, owning not just their labor, their bodies. They had them in company dorms and shit like that. And of course they contributed to anti-immigration causes. Okay, this is who these people are. They're so disgusting because they're committing political malpractice, really, because they're triggering and they're tickling the racist funny bones of the dupes who support them. But in the meantime, they're doing it by fear-mongering. They're making maggots and their enablers. They're making them afraid. They're robbing them of their serenity. They're turning them into hate-mongering, agents of their own demise, really. It's like, leave people alone. That's how you know they have no best interest of this country at heart. Because if they had the best interest of a constitutionally limited democratic republic, of a diverse, multiracial, liberal democracy, they would encourage unity, wouldn't they? Instead of tickling racist funny bones. But that's all they got, clearly. And the only thing that matters is money. More money in their pockets by any means necessary. So there's also, as I intimated a little bit, they paid these people less money. So they it says Uline allegedly covered the travel, lodging, and additional expenses for these workers. So it was as if, oh look, we're altruists. We're altruists. We're doing them a favor by taking them from their shithole country and bringing them into our shithole facility. But they're paying them. It's like when Republicans undo child labor laws, and then they pay children training wages. So you get to compete with a child making a training wage instead of an adult. Well, Trump thinks children can do your job anyway. So that's what you voted for, maggots. It's like that. So they say they're paying them training wages and shit like that, but they're, of course, simply exploiting them. So it's not the first time the Ulines have faced criticism over immigration and immigration-related practices. They previously sought special visas for foreign workers. And, of course, they are prominent donors to Trader Trump and Republican politicians in general, and spend lots of money, lots of their ill-gotten gains on so-called conservative initiatives. They are the second largest political donors in this year's election, so it's not chump change. Giving more than man-child Musk. So what do they expect in return, right? And look, here's one of the ads. They have a clip from it here in the Guardian article. Here's one of the ads they funded. Remember that? Or it's a screenshot from one of the ads. Let's see if I can pull it into here. Or maybe not. It ain't working. Did she do all she could do to protect American citizens from an invasion? It's an invasion. What about you? Did you do all you could do, Uline? Lick Uline to protect from an invasion? No, you actually are the ground zero of the invasion, I guess. Right? The hypocrisy. But doesn't it lay bare the game that they're playing? The strategy, the divide and conquer strategy? They're giving it away again. If they really had an interest in stopping illegal border crossings, they wouldn't hire illegal immigrants or undocumented immigrants. They would not fund buses. They wouldn't put them up in company dorms. They wouldn't get them tourist visas. Well, those are the ones. I mean, that's illegal, by the way. If you come in, even if you're coming in on a tourist visa and you work with the intention of working, you're here illegally. You could be deported immediately. But this is why the Republicans will never go after there's push factors and pull factors. They will never go after the pull factors, which are the employers. Well, that's just one of the pull factors, but they will certainly use every means necessary to trigger their racist dupes into giving these assholes all the power they need and want. And, well, they want, forget need. They will never have enough. Giving them all the power to destroy this country, this pesky democracy once and for all. Right? Right? Right, Tara Jr.? So, yeah. Conversely, Biden has a historic labor-friendly stance. He's walked the picket line. He's publicly supported unionization efforts. Unbelievable, right? This is how we thank him. This is how the maggots thank him. All right, Tara Jr., you're really getting on my nerves here. Oh, now you're trying to talk nice. He's really getting on my nerves. He's like biting my fucking hands. Stop it. Okay, that's it. Goodbye. Goodbye, Norma Jean. I never knew you. Something. You're a candle in the wind. Tara Jr., I think you're just a candle in the wind. Tara Jr., you're annoying me like a wind up my ass. You're annoying. No, I love him. I love you. But, you know, I need some space here. All right. What else? There's other things, but you know what? I'm running out of time and steam. What was the other thing, though? Everything sucks. That's pretty much it. Now that we're all caught up. What are we going to do? So next week... Wait, I can't even believe it. It's almost Christmas. So I'm not sure about next week. We might do a show on Christmas Eve, Robyn and I. And actually, Robyn is now called Roxanne. Okay? I don't know. I have to adjust. You know why? Because I have to fucking change all my graphics, and it's really annoying. I don't have enough to do. It's not about me, though, is it? But it's going to be hard. I don't know. I know her as Robyn. Now it's Roxanne. Okay. I hope it doesn't change to something else next year. This is it. You only get 2 graphic changes. That's it. Then I have to start charging more. I'm only kidding. You understand. All right. So we might have a show on Christmas Eve, I hear tell, instead of Wednesday. Let me see. And then we have no show on Wednesday because it's the birth of our baby Jesus, Lord and Savior. God, could you imagine how different things would be if the pagans had won? Right? If Constantine never converted to Christianity, and then conversely, during the whole Viking age, that England had to convert to the pagan religion instead of the other way around, we'd be in a different world. A little bit different. Yep. I always think about that. I wonder if anybody's written a book. Yes, Robyn is now Roxanne. And apparently I'm the last to know. I'm not the last to know. I knew she was calling herself Roxanne on occasion. And then I asked, what are you talking? Well, you're Roxanne? What's this Roxanne? Because all of a sudden it was like, Roxanne, I'm Roxanne. I'm like, listening to the show. And I'm like, wow, what the fuck is what's going on? And then I said, what's happening? Your name is Roxanne? And then she said, yes, that's what I want to be called. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I got to change all my graphics now? And then this was a while ago. And then she said, no, I'm still Robyn professionally and for the show. I'm like, good, because I don't want to change all my graphics. And then now we covered for Malloy on Monday, and then today we pre-recorded Mike Malloy's show, and she said, I'm Roxanne Kincaid, and I'm like, what? And then after the show, I was like, what's going on? Now you're fucking Roxanne here? What the fuck? And then she said, I've been Roxanne on my show for a long time now. And I'm like, God, I gotta, it's that, I don't care, whatever. Roxanne, call yourself whatever you want. I will try to remember that and be as respectful. But now I got another thing to do. You understand? Like, I'm like, now I got to fucking change all these graphics. And you said I didn't have to. And now, I'm like, you got to stick to one. Just take it and stick to one. It's like a branding thing. You got to have one name. Now everybody's like, Roxanne. Who's Roxanne? And now everything I got to change. Not only that, and then I did her graphics when she ran for public office, and she's going to do it again. I got to change all those, too. All right, whatever. Don't tell her I said this, everybody. Keep it between us. She's probably not listening now, so who knows? She knows how I feel, because I was like, come on. I got to change all my graphics now. It's annoying. There's a lot. It's like everything. The lower third, the on the phone graphic, the little advertising graphic, the one that goes on the YouTube page, the other one that goes on the SoundCloud page. It's a lot. I got to redesign it. I have to put the type in. I have to change everything. And then I got to get rid of the old ones so they don't... It's just... And I'm always... How many times I always got to say that I got to do that? I haven't even changed the opening of the show that says RDT Daily. I tried to get a AI voice to do it, to tell you the truth. And it wasn't working. I know how to use it, but it was not, it just wasn't doing the, I mean, all the more reason to hire an actual human like I did the first time. That guy's not doing voices, or at least he wasn't on. I got him from Fiverr, the guy who did my VOs. But I tried to get I thought, I'll just do this AI. And it wasn't doing it just was reading it, without any feeling. And then I asked it, you could do like happy, energetic, sad, but it was not good. Not good. And then it was like Tarabuster or something like that. All right. Nice to see you, Brian. Welcome. We're wrapping it up. The show's getting wrapped at this time. All right. Yes. All right, guys. Listen, let's get together on maybe Tuesday. I hope so. If you're around on Christmas Eve. I mean, I'm here. I'm not doing shit this holiday season. I'm not doing anything. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here working for the revolution. And then my birthday's on Friday. So we will have a show on Friday. It's going to be my birthday show. It's going to be very sad. And not worth you know, anybody's birthday, really, but it's all we got. All right? That's all we got. And I figure that it's good to do a show if we can do one on Christmas Eve. That'd be nice. We'll see. Don't quote me, but maybe I'll do one myself. I don't need Roxanne. You see what I'm saying? To do it, I guess. Maybe not. And because she's the one that proposed it, so we'll see. And then we got Friday, my shitty birthday show. Maybe, I don't know. I'll ask Poppy. Maybe Poppy. It's been a while. I haven't heard from Poppy. I don't know. She might be. Well, last time I asked, she was like on tour and shit. All right. Poppy Champlin, for those who don't know. All right, guys. I gotta go. It's time. I've had enough. Look at Francis. He's good. He's a good boy. All right. Where's the rest of them? Boudica's sleeping. All right, guys. I love you. We will win. Thank you for hanging out. I love you all. Tell your friends. Become a patron at patreon.com/taradevil. And thank you, Jim and Elise, for your super chat. And my name is Taradevil, and thank you for hanging out. Happy birthday to our amazing JD. So nice that you found the show. And I'm so glad you did. And you're really great and cherished part of the community. So thank you. And we will win. Good night, Brian. Good night, Robyn. Good night, Errol. This is like the Waltons. Good night, Haiku. Good night, Jim. Good night, JD. And good night, birthday boy. Good night, Matt. Good night, Kathy. Good night, Suzanne. Good night, Errol. Good night, Larry. Good night, Steven. Good night, everybody. All right, and if I missed you, I'm very sorry. And good night, and my name is Tara Devlin. I'll see you, hopefully, during the week. Be safe. Tell your friends. I'll see you very soon.